weird because I was off TV for like these segments of time, and I eventually ended up talking to Hunter about it. And he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna move you up to the main roster." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And this is at a time where like call-ups are very weird and fluid because everything's happening at the Performance Center anyway. So like people are just randomly popping up on Monday Night Raw, and like it's just this odd time where like who's tested positive on any certain week and who can't be on TV and how do we replace them, things like that. Who happens to be in town and healthy and things like that. So it was a very weird time. I got quote unquote called up. Nobody seemed to be aware that I was called up. I talked to Paul Heyman and he was like, "Great, we're happy to have you on board. We're gonna have an action plan for you." Like literally the next day, they replaced Paul Heyman with Bruce Pritchard as the showrunner. So I was like, that's a setback. Not in terms of the personnel, but just like because I had talked to Paul and now he's no longer doing it. So I tried to talk to Bruce. Bruce also assured me that there was like a working plan in place and to email the creative team, so I did. Nothing really came of it, and I ended up getting a call maybe like a month later from the NXT head of writing, the head writer, I think, who's still the head writer for NXT, Johnny Russo. He's a good friend of mine. And he was like, "Hey, we have one more thing for you on NXT." So what happened was that was just timeline-wise, that was the night, everybody probably remembers this, the night where Keith Lee was crowned the double champion. And, the fireworks and the sparklers, and he's got both belts. And then he's celebrating on the ramp, and Mia gives him a hug, and I come out and I give him a hug too. There's that picture, and that's nice. That was all to set up his feud with Karrion Kross, right? It's me, this is my best friend, we're good friends, and then here comes this killer guy, and all of a sudden I don't like him, and we're both Croatian, and we don't like each other, and we had a match, and we built a little feud, and he basically killed me off television, right? He put me in the sleeper hold, and Keith is there, and I told Keith not to interfere with the match. He chokes me out, and Dominic Dijakovic is never seen again. Literally, that was the last time I was ever Dominic Dijakovic. So again, that ends, and I'm like, cool, I guess I'm called up now to Raw. But again, like months are going by and nothing's happening. So I go and I talk to Vince McMahon, which is a whole story to tell, right? But I'll gloss over that. I talk to him, nothing comes of it. The Retribution thing starts without me, and I'm looking at it, I was like, oh, okay, this is an opportunity for me and the other people that are my friends who also aren't doing anything and are also like actively trying to get on this show, for me to go pitch to Vince that we can fill these roles that you need filled. So I did that. Whether it was my pitch or whether they already had it in mind for one reason or another, we all ended up filling the role of Retribution. It was right around the exact time. The timing it is exact. The first time that that WWE had done anything from the quote-unquote Thunderdome, literally the first segment that's happening is Vince McMahon standing in the ring, welcome to the Thunderdome, and then the lights go out, Bray Wyatt comes out, they're staring at each other, I think Braun Strowman, no, I don't remember the exact sequence, some combination of Vince, Braun, and Bray Wyatt, and then Vince exits, it's Braun and Bray, lights go out, Retribution comes up. That was the first time I was ever Retribution. I'm standing on the apron, we all attack Braun Strowman, we beat up Braun Strowman, and maybe the roster ran out and saved it or something. But that clip alone, ironically, ended up being the most watched clip on all of WWE YouTube for the year of 2020. It got like 45 million views. And that was my first thing I ever did on the main roster. So it was a good start. It certainly trended Retribution in a better direction because the initial reception to Retribution was, this is horrible, right? Because it was hastily put together. Probably, again, it's the Performance Center and things are happening, right? You got to do things quickly. turnaround time. But I guess what had happened was like a bunch of the people that were doing those first inclinations of Retribution were like extras and like even writers and referees and stuff like that. They weren't wrestlers, or they at least weren't like WWE wrestlers, because they weren't sure who they wanted Retribution to be. So that's why you're getting a lot of like, I don't want to be overly critical. It was not well received by fans, if you all remember. But like that's when I came into the fold and I started pitching, like, we can do this as wrestlers and we can do more physical moves and make things more, me and Mace were big guys. He wasn't Mace at the time. He was Dio Madden. And now he's in MXM on AEW. But I'm like, we're big guys. We can look intimidating and big and intimidating presences behind the masks and things like that. So yeah, that's what we pitched. And it started trending in a good direction.